Yogis, welcome. We will be starting on our backs today, and then I'll explain to you what we'll do today. So come and lie down, and if you can, with the soles of the feet together, knees to widen, and your arms absolutely just wherever you like them to be. And so recently we've done a class which was very focused on strengthening and opening upper body muscles. In particular the back and the shoulders and the triceps. And so for today we're really working lower body flexibility and lower body strength. And so that's why we're starting here in our Supta Baddha Konasana. This is our butterfly pose. So we have that nice opening straight away here through the hips and the pelvis. And as always, I invite you to close down the eyes here for that moment. Just a minute of just stillness, being here, listening, observing, but nothing to do and nowhere to go. Stillness, see if you can send the breath a little lower into the lower abdomen. So we're beginning really to invite ourselves to lengthen and deepen the breath, and taking it out of these poor little rib muscles really, which just have most of the breathing all put on their little muscles and their strain. So we're lengthening, we're deepening, we're softening for that reason into the muscles that take all the heavy duty all the time. It's nice to keep the eyes closed a little longer, so we do keep that stillness and we quiet the mind a little bit more, but slowly begin to bring the knees together. Hug the knees into your chest and take just little circles, little sways. Massaging the lower back, or if you push it a little further away, massaging the sacrum. Bring the feet down to the floor and just lift the right leg up towards the ceiling. And just here, no touching the leg, still nice and straight legs, or as straight as you can get it. It's not possible for everyone, I understand that. Start to circle the ankle to a direction. So you're kind of just finding a little bit of mobilizing through the right ankle joint, and we're obviously feeling that stretch then on the back, the front, and the sides of the right leg. And then resting the arms right beside your body, and walk your left heel maybe a little closer in. Left sole of the foot is flat to the floor. And let's come up onto our bridge pose with one leg. So right leg lifts up to the sky, and lift yourself as high as you can with the hips off. Take another big breath in, lift. And then slowly come all the way down again. So we've activated the glutes. And then interlace the fingers behind the right leg, which is still up to the sky. And start to press the leg forward into the hands. And so if your hands are not interlaced behind the hamstring, your leg will probably shoot straight through because it's strong and it's pushing forward. Push a little bit more, and then stop pushing and pull the leg in as far as it goes here. Flex the toes. And so from that muscle activation, we can now stretch a little deeper. Slowly bring the right ankle on top of the left thigh, and just push the right knee away here to begin with, and opening through the right hip here. And take one more round of breath. And the right foot comes down to the floor, left leg lifts up to the ceiling, and again, just a nice and straight leg, and just start to circle through the ankle. Find some movement. For everyone, the range of movement will look very different, so it's nice that we're practicing by ourselves at home or wherever you might be. And the straighter the leg is, the more we're targeting as well the calf and the hamstring, as well as even the thigh and the front line of the shin. Now we we keep that left leg up to the ceiling. Right foot might walk a little closer, arms beside you. Squeeze through the right foot as we lift up into our one-legged bridge. It feels like a lot of work probably straight away. Try and lift it a little higher for 3, for 2, and 1. Slowly lower down, never ending collapsing. Interlace the fingers now and flex the toes. And so we're holding on to the hamstring, pushing the leg forward. As much as you can, push into the hands here. Pushing it forward and forward. So kind of confusing the brain as soon as we let go to pull it in, and we just find a little bit more flexibility usually. So push it forward for 3 more seconds, for 2, and 1, and then pull the leg in. Never any force, never in a way that the glutes lift off the floor. 1 more breath. And then letting go. Left ankle on top of the right thigh and just press the knee forward. But keep your hips nice and square. One side or the other side of the hip might have felt tighter. 1 more round of breath. Good. And letting go, knees into your chest again, bringing that all together with a little swaying, a little movement. And then start to rock back and forth, back and forth. Massaging the full length of the spine, starting to activate the core as well. Last round here, and we'll come all the way up and over into a downward facing dog. So step it back, feet are hip width apart, take a little walk through your dog. Always so nice, just test the waters and see how it's feeling today. It is so normal for our body to just feel a little bit different every time. And as you look at your toes, you can actually not see your heels. If you can, make sure they spin right behind. And as you look at your hands, the index and the thumb, the index and the middle fingers are pointing forward together. We're lifting through the shoulders, lifting through the navel. And you can bend your knees a little if you feel like you can lift higher through the sit bones. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now Ujjayi breath, maybe for my more seasoned yogis, that's that breath in and out through the nose, and that restriction on the back of the throat. So we're heating up the body, we're lengthening and deepening the breath, and it's sort of creating that whisper sound, both on the inhale and the exhale. And then slowly walking our way forward, really scoop your leg into your hip socket basically, and so we take those little steps. Activating, stretching still through the legs. Find yourself at the top of the mat and then bend through the knees and let yourself fall so heavy. Shake out the head, yes and no. Never overstretching through the legs here, so it's nice to keep that bend through the knees. Breathing, Ujjayi breath. Hands heavy, head heavy, and let's curl up to stand nice and slowly. Coming to stand up nice and tall. When you're ready, let's take some sun A's to get nice and warm. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky, look up as well. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees as much as you need to. Touch the fingers to the floor, forehead to knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Can you bring more weight into the toes, hands to shins, lengthen the spine. Step into a high plank and take the knees down. Inhale here, chin forward, kind of look forward. And exhale, elbows brush past the ribs. We call this chaturanga as we lower down. To a baby cobra, so shoulders down and back, squeeze the elbows into the ribs, toenails are down. Downward facing dog, exhale. 1 breath only here. Use the exhale to ground the heels down more. Inhale, then look forward. You might step or jump to the top of the mat for this second round. Inhale, halfway lift. Can you get taller, longer? Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms up, look up and stretch up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step to your plank. Of course, you can still bring the knees down, otherwise shift forward, right onto your tippy toes. Exhale, chaturanga, halfway point, into a cobra or straight into an upward facing dog. Thighs, knees lift, shoulders down, downward facing dog. Exhale, one breath again. Exhale, ground the heels down more again. Inhale, look forward, step, or a jump to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, arms up, look up, stretch up. Exhale, fold. Always okay to start to move into your own breath. Inhale, making this a flow at your own pace. Exhale, step to your plank. Knees down or shift forward, breath in. To exhale, descend, and that exhale is just as long as every other one. Inhale, even though it's harder, strength rise. To exhale, downward facing dog. Take an inhale here. Ground the heels down more, exhale. Last one, inhale, look forward, step or jump. A halfway lift, inhale. And then exhale, forward fold. Come to stand all the way up. Inhale, big arms, look up and stretch up. Samastiti here, which simply means hands together, thumbs center of chest. Take a moment to stand here and breathe. Coming to a little bit more of a hatha little leg sequence here. Hatha yoga being more of a style of yoga where we get into a pose, we hold the pose and come out nice and slowly. We take the feet hip width apart. That's about 2 fist width distance in between the big toes, if you would like to measure. Bring the 2 hands forward. See if you can even lift through the triceps here as we stand nice and tall, strong arms. Take a big breath in here, and then exhale, sit all the way back into an imaginary chair. Quite different than your yoga chair, vinyasa flow chair, I should say. Shoulders retract back, really sit back, squeeze the glutes, light into your toes. Breathe in and breathe out. Keep reaching, keep stretching. One more last round of breath. And then rise all the way back up. Always nice when that one is done. Lifting onto your tippy toes now. So come and sit nice and high. And we keep the knees going forward, lifting high onto your toes. Try and have a straight spine as you sit as low as you can without bringing the heels down. Squeeze the glutes. Lift through the abdomen for better balance. Upper body back. Lift a little higher onto your toes for 3, for 2, and 1. Rise all the way up. Bring your feet back together to touch. Normal vinyasa flow chair pose. Feet together to touch. Arms reach up. Take a big breath in here. Squeeze the glutes, sit a little lower. Exhale. Lower maybe a little bit more. Just one more breath in here. And exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale, long flat spine. And exhale again, step it back. Inhale, knees down or shift forward. Exhale, lower down nice and slowly. To your back bend of choice, a cobra or an up dog. Downward facing dog, exhale. Bring your feet a little closer to each other, lift the right leg up. And just stay there a little longer. Try and have your 2 hip bones to shine straight down to the mat. And so that means we don't lift the leg up and the hip up to lift higher. Really work the true nature of the left hamstring here. See if you can bring the left heel down more. Lift the right leg a little higher. One more inhale. And then exhale, knee to nose. Shift forward, step it forward without a sound. We'll come up for our high lunge here, same as your crescent lunge. Arms reach and rise up. You can bend the back knee a little bit. And the thighs are usually the muscles that really want to switch on. See if you can squeeze the glutes more. They're lazy. They need to work better for us to have lesser back pain and stronger, longer posture. Stay on the inhale. Lower down, exhale, almost to touch knee to floor, almost. Inhale. Rise, exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Good. One more to rise, inhale. And then we open up warrior two, exhale. I mean, warrior two and legs are just no question about it. So bounce a little bit through the right knee, and then really open and widen through the front of the hip. Check that your knee goes straight over the second and third toe. It doesn't go in, it doesn't go out. Breathe as you try and work your lowest. Maybe thigh can go parallel. Take a full round of breath here. Then inhale, reverse the warrior. Stay low through that front knee. Right hand draws back. And then exhale, cartwheel hands down to the floor. Inhale, high plank. Shift forward or knees down. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, find your back bend. Exhale, your dog. Feet come a little closer together. Left leg lifts up and hold. Really find the right heel to ground down more. And the left leg only to lift as much as you can without opening the hip bone up. One more round of breath. And then slowly inhale, lift it as high as it goes without still opening. Exhale, round, curl, and snap. Always find your feet first. When that's done and when you're ready, rising up, high lunge. And that bend in the back knee, you just take that if you feel like you're really getting into that back bend in the lower back otherwise. I always did that. So a bend in the back knee really has me lengthening through the lower back. Inhale, we stay. Exhale, bend the back knee almost to the floor. Sit low. Use your glutes. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Squeeze the glutes. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Last time to come up already. Inhale. Stay low and just open up. Exhale, warrior two. So it's a heel to heel alignment or heel to arch. Sit low through the front knee. Let it go straight forward. You can actually see your big toe as well if you were to look down. Try and relax the shoulders. Do not lean forward. Stay nice and upright. Zip up through the lower abdomen. Now your legs walk you around and carry you all day long. And they can stay here. But your mind is just telling you like, do you not want to? See if you can sit a little lower. That one last final breath here. And then stay low. Reverse. Inhale, left hand draws back. Exhale, cartwheel hands down to the floor. High plank. Inhale. Lower down. Exhale. Your back bend of choice. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale. One breath in. One breath out. And just because it's nice to flow, we'll just do that little sequence. One movement, one breath. So feet a little closer. Right leg to lift. Inhale. Exhale, step it forward. Rise up, inhale. We'll just take one drop. Exhale to lower. Inhale to rise. Exhale, warrior two. Sit low. Stay low as you reverse. Inhale, we always have the tendency to lift. And exhale, cartwheel the hands. High plank, inhale. You can skip this altogether. Exhale to lower. Back bend, inhale. Is your neck long? Your collarbones wide. Downward facing dog, exhale. Left leg to lift, inhale. Exhale, step. Rise, inhale. Lower, exhale. Rise, inhale. Warrior two, exhale. Reverse and lengthen, breath in. And exhale, cartwheel the hands. High plank, inhale. Lower down, exhale. Cobra or up dog, breath in. You can change this every round, as you see I'm doing too. Exhale, downward dog. One more round. Feel free to move at your own breath. Right leg up, inhale. Feel free to move with me. Exhale. Rise, crescent lunge, inhale. Lower, exhale. Rise, inhale. Open up, warrior two. Go long, go deep. Stay low, reverse, inhale. And exhale, hands down. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, back bend. And exhale, dog. Last side, left leg up, inhale. Exhale, step. Rise, inhale. Lower, exhale. Up, inhale. Open up, exhale. Reverse, stay low, inhale. And exhale, cartwheel the hands. Finish this in your own time, your own breath. And maybe you're not even flowing and you're in child's pose or in dog right now. Inhale, always okay. Downward facing dog, exhale. And again, let that be a child's pose if you're feeling really out of breath or just overwhelmed or you just want to. See again on every exhale, you can plant those heels a little bit more to the floor. You can still bend your knees to lift the sit bones high. Big breath in. And a big breath out. Inhale, then look forward and exhale. Step or jump to the top of the mat. Flat back, breath in. And an exhale, fold. Rise to stand. Inhale all the way up. Samastitihi, and take a moment to close the eyes. Maybe take a big sigh and release some heat. We're working such big muscle groups that it is very normal to feel quite warm. Let that go through a big sighs out of your mouth. Big toes together to touch. Heels might come apart just like half an inch. Look forward, open eyes, and then come back to chair pose. Inhale. Now your arms might be up or they might be at the heart center because today it is about the lower body. So squeeze the glutes here. Don't fall into the lower back. Lengthen the tailbone. Lift onto the toes. Heels lift. Squeeze those knees together. And it's like you're sliding down a wall. So bring your upper body back. Come down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly rock back. Make sure you have enough room. Start to rock back and forth. 1, 2, maybe 3 times. Come back to chair pose. That's always half the fun. It's much more fun when we're in person, to be honest, but really fun nonetheless. And it might have not worked the first round, but don't give up. Let's try again. Upper body back, heels up high. Squeeze those knees together. You will get more shaky every time, but it's exciting. Lift the glutes, draw through the hamstrings and the belly down. 10, 9, 8, 7, heels higher. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, sit back, no use of hands. Rocking 1, 2, 3 times. Come up when you're ready. One last time. Upper body back. All good things happen in threes. Heels up. Squeeze those knees. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I definitely felt that burn. Back and forth. 1 or 2 more. Chair pose. And stand all the way tall. Whew, let that go. Breathe it out. Let's lift the right knee up. And step the right foot about a meter behind you at the most. Try and have no longer heel-to-heel alignment, so your hips are hip width apart and so are your feet. Your back foot is 45 slightly out, but your 2 hip bones go straight forward. Hands to the hips here, inhale, lengthen for pyramid pose. Exhale, long spine going forward. I want you to kind of keep looking towards your big toe or ankle. And you feel the left hamstring stretch. If you really want the hands to come to the floor, you can. Have your sacrum nice and square so you can kind of almost rest like a cup of coffee or a glass of wine onto the lower back. Chin is going and moving with every exhale towards the shin. Not to touch, just towards. Breathe. Rise all the way up on the inhale, and let's quarter turn out towards the right side. Exhale. We take a big step, heels in, toes out. And then arms come forward just for balance as we sit down. This is our horse stance in yoga and second position in Pilates. It's the same thing. Upper body all the way back. I'll show you from the side that my spine is absolutely straight. Try and sit a little lower and then push more weight into those baby toes. And then see here if you can lift a heel every time, but stay nice and low into your seat. Push those knees out and behind you as much as you can. And either continue with your individual heel lift or lift 2 heels and start to bounce. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rise up. Bring a pigeon toe of feet. That means big toes together. Hands to the hips. Inhale. And exhale. Let's take a forward fold. Your choice, yogis, for today. You can bring hands in between the big toes, and that can be fingers, that's fine. You might be able to grab the ankles or the big toes. Do something that works for you today. Lengthening on the inhale maybe, and deepening on the exhale. And notice if we're pressing a lot of weight into the heels, see if you can bring more weight to the toes. It's better for our hamstrings. It's better for the glutes in the lower back as well. Head is heavy. Maybe dangle it a little bit, shake it. One more full round of breath here. Hands to your hips, inhale, rise. All the way up, strong legs, and step all the way back to the top of your mat. I'll turn around so I can continue to face you guys. You don't have to, unless it's better to see me. Hands to the hips, left leg lifts up, inhale. Step it back about a meter and a half at most. Make sure you're not heel to heel alignment, so take a bit of space, hip width apart. 2 hip bones forward, front toes, right toes forward, left one, toes out a little, 45 degrees. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale with a long spine, go forward. I quite like bringing my hands onto my sacrum, my lower back, so I can feel if it stays quite flat, rather than when it starts to lift. And traditionally, I would say more weight into the front leg will have your hips to stay more square. Draw up through the lower abdomen. Keep looking towards the big toe. And then chin towards the shin here as you gently breathe your way into that right hamstring. 2 more breaths. Hands can still be to the floor as well. See what works for you. Rise up all the way. Good, and just gently step all the way forward. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. halfway lift, inhale, optional vinyasa here, guys. So if you feel like flowing, flow. If you don't feel like flowing, take your downward dog immediately, as that is our meeting point. Breathe. Slowly from there and out, walk the hands 1, 2 steps closer, and then walk your feet 1, 2 steps closer to the hands. You're now kind of at the middle of your mat. Take a moment to shake out your head, yes and no. Breathe. And we'll start with the right leg lifted up behind you. And again, try as much as you can to keep the hip bones square. You might just stay here. If you did have that block that you usually use for your practice, you might keep that underneath the hands for some height. And otherwise, try again to keep those hips square like we practiced in that first down dog leg lift. Maybe even grab your hand behind the calf as you lift the leg high, you press your forehead closer into the knee. Take 2 breaths into your single leg stretch here. Again, hamstring is definitely feeling that, your half splits. And then give yourself a little bit of length. Inhale. Open your hip now and flex your top foot like you're standing on that as well. Gently bring the right hand to the right hip. Open the right hip on top of the left hip. Right shoulder on top of the left shoulder. Maybe hand up to the ceiling. Draw in through the abdomen. And if you feel like a little bit more strength, you lift your left hand off the floor for 3, 2, and 1. Hands down, feet down. Bend your knees and just rest for a breath. Other side, standing splits, left leg lifts. Stay as high as you need to on blocks or on fingertips. And looking at your left foot up into the air can sometimes work. You now say, go up higher. It sometimes just goes up higher. Maybe you grab the calf and pull yourself closer. Maybe you stay kind of like in that halfway lift and lengthen it up. Try and keep the hip bones down and square for 3, 2, 1. And then opening that left hip, which should be a really nice change. Left hip on top of the right hip. Left shoulder on top of the right shoulder, half moon. Flex the left toes. It's okay to fall out, it's just a bit of fun. Maybe right hand lifts up. 3, 2, and 1. Feet down, hands down. Bend your knees and breathe. One more little fun one. 2 fingers on the inside of your right big toe. So it's 2 peace fingers on the inside of your right big toe. Left hand kind of tense onto the floor. Softness through the knee, but strong contraction through the whole left leg as you lift the right foot up. And try and bring it out to your right side. Draw in through the abs. Try and lift and hold for 3, 2. Feel the left glute fire up. 1. Slowly, always slowly come down. Bend a little, shake that out. Other side. 2 peace fingers around the inside of your left big toe. Tense the right hand so you're on 2 fingertips. And then strong standing leg that softens into the right knee joint. Lift the left leg up and out to the side. 3, 2, 1. And slowly come down. Whilst we're here, we bring the knees down to the floor. Good, the knees come wide all the way to the top of your mat, please. Big toes are together to touch but not crossed. And then scoop and lengthen your tailbone forward. That might be just enough. So absolutely feel free to stay here. The most important cue is that I need the knees to stay down. As soon as the knees lift, you've gone too far, and we're starting to pull in the Patalasana. Not good onto our kneecaps, so really important to keep the knees grounded. If If you're feeling okay, you can go further, come onto your forearms, and again, lengthen your tailbone forward so we don't jam into the lower back. And if you're feeling okay, you can still go further. You might come lie all the way down. A big stretch through the thighs, and again, do not let the knees lift up, okay? We're working ego then, definitely not muscle stretch. We're working on pulling on the joints then. That is never good. Wherever you are, and please come out if your face is pulling or you're about to cry. Otherwise, 3 more big breaths. And slowly come out from wherever you are. Use elbows or hands. And slowly walk your knees back. Downward facing dog. It's nice to have the knees straight here for a moment, just to have the blood rush right in and through after that big compression. Now if you know that half pigeon is not your shape, you can come straight onto your back and take your thread and needle. Otherwise, right leg to lift, inhale, and then right knee to the right side of your mat. Shin, sure, parallel-ish, but probably the heel is closer underneath the pubic bone than it is to my left wrist. Drag the left leg back. Use pillows or blocks underneath the right hip if you know you're collapsing down. Again, you need to be able to have like a cup of coffee or a glass of wine onto your lower back. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, come and rest down. Now we've done so much work. And this is stretching the thighs from all of that work, as well as the IT bend and the glutes, the lower back. So 2 juicy minutes here, so get as comfortable as you can be. That might mean that you grab a pillow to lie on or a block. Saddle here. And if this is hurting your knee, then come out. Come onto your back, cross the right ankle on top of the left thigh, just like we did in the beginning. And you might bind or you might just stay. Relax the hands, the jaw, the eyebrows, the shoulders. Last breath here. And already for those of you on your back taking your figure 4 stretch, your thread the needle, same thing, then you can just stay onto your back and change the sides. And for my half pigeons, come back onto the hands, take it slow, curl the back toes, lift the hips, and slowly come back for a moment of stillness in down dog. Before you go into the left side, left leg lifts. Left knee to the left side of the mat, long spine, right leg drags back, square up the hips, inhale. When you are ready, yes, so in your own time, come down and rest down. And then really start to soften here. Let gravity do the work for you. I know I say it all the time, but I like that about this pose. That it is just you in this shape. And the more we learn to breathe through and exhale longer and deeper, the more we get out of our head, the longer these muscles can get. Three more breaths. Before I thread the needles onto your back, just gently come into a downward dog. If you want to stay on your back and you just don't want to, then that's okay. And otherwise, guys, everybody slowly making our way back to downward facing dog. Just a breath of stillness one more time. We are cooling down, so I'm happy for you to stand or otherwise look forward and jump to the edges of the mat. So now we are in Malasana, our yogi squat. So long spine, elbows on the inside of the knees. I often see triceps, which basically makes us look like this, rounding the spine. And we want to pop and lengthen the spine up and open. If this is not a good shape for you, which is very common, more so for guys as well than for girls, but very normal either way, then you can come onto your back and take your happy baby instead. That looks like this. Now it's kind of the same idea. Opening through our inner groin, our hips, our hamstrings, our Achilles. There's a lot of reasons why this is so uncomfortable for a lot of people. See if you can roll a little bit out and externally into the baby toes. Lengthen the spine more and push the shoulders down. Posterior chain, nice and long. Breathe. 3 more breaths. Yeah, might you be in your happy baby or in your Malasana squat here. And after your 3rd breath, if you're already down, stay down. Otherwise, come to lie down. We haven't done any twisting yet, so it's a nice time to do that here, right at the end. So if you have a favorite spine twist, feel free to take it. I'm cueing and I'm taking our twisted roots. Soles of the feet to the floor, right thigh on top of left thigh. So right thigh all the way, like I'm sitting in a chair. I'm popping my hips a little to the right side of the mat and then my knees to the left side. And so right at the middle of the mat, I'm stacking my hips. Then widen the arms, maybe into a cactus or maybe arms long. And if this hurts your lower back or your knees, then please just have the knees on top of each other and pick a different one. Ah, big breath here. I'm kind of gluing all that work from the lower body into the upper body. Stretching out. We're still stretching into the IT band and the hips and the glutes as well, into your twisted roots. Still lowering the breath into the belly. Ideally, we would do that all day long. But no more ujjayi, just normal, unmatched and natural breath. 4 more breaths. to shoulders down in our supine spine twist, so lying down spine twist. And slowly bring the knees back up through center, reposition those hips back to the middle of the mat, and then cross the left over the right thigh. Hips a little to the left, knees to the right, and twist. Normal, natural breath, long, deep breath though. We're trying to teach ourselves that. Shoulders down, eyes closed. Relax the fingers, jaw. Noticing those really repetitive thoughts. Between 90 and 99% of our thoughts are unoriginal. They are repetitive. They repeat themselves. We think those same 90 to 99% of thoughts, we think 50 to 70,000 times a day. That's a lot. So try not to cover over anything, but just try and quiet a little. Focus on the inner sound, your breath, or your body. Anything that is right here. Last breath. And then slowly those knees come back up. If there's any final movement you'd like to take, do that now. If you have quite a lot more time today for Savasana, you might pop me on mute. So you can stay for however long or however many breaths you decide to do. Savasana is next. Shoulders shimmy down. Shoulders scapula hug together. Take the legs a touch wider and wiggle them a bit. And then let the feet kind of naturally splay out. Again, close the eyes. Moment of stillness. Even though we don't practice together, we are practicing together. Collectively, we are still. Collectively, we relax. more breath together. You might stay longer. Maybe some sighs to free yourself of whatever it was before. Breathing in whatever you want to receive new. Just after your third breath, you bend the knees, set the feet down to the floor and roll onto your favorite side. Just 2 breaths here. Pushing yourself with the top hand up to a seat, any type of seat that you want right now. Bringing the hands together, the thumbs center up chest. Just such an important moment to think ourselves. We go so quick through life and we're always go, go, go. And then we're so quick to judge ourselves and to create these thoughts that become our truth, which are then not actually our truth. So take a moment to be grateful and kind. Namaste, yogi.